Dear students, in this video on kinematics, we will study about vectors, their different types, additions, subtraction and a numerical problem. So let us begin with scalar quantities. Let's see what are scalar quantities. So, a physical quantity which requires only magnitude for its complete description is called a scalar quantity. Means any physical quantity which requires only magnitude. Let me talk about say mass. If mass of a body is say 10 kilogram, then saying 10 kilogram is sufficient. We do not have to tell the direction of mass. अगर हमारे पास कोई भी बॉडी है और उसका मास 10 किलोग्राम है तो उसमें हमें डायरेक्शन बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इतना कहना ही काफ़ी है, सफिशिएंट है. सो लेट मी टेक वन मोर एग्जांपल. से इफ़ यू टेक 2 hours टू ट्रेवल, तो आपने ट्रेवलिंग में 2 hours लगाए तो आपको डायरेक्शन बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. सिंपली सेइंग 2 hours इज़ सफिशिएंट. सो ये जो है हाउ मच, आंसर टू हाउ मच इज़ मैग्नीट्यूड, कितना है उसको हम कहते हैं मैग्नीट्यूड. सो स्केलर क्वांटिटीज़ में केवल मैग्नीट्यूड बताना काफ़ी है, जैसे 2 hours और 10 किलोग्राम और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. सो there's so many examples and you're familiar with them, like mass, length, temperature, time, density, work, specific heat, etc. Now let us talk about vector quantities. Now vector quantities are the one where direction is necessary. So a physical quantity which requires both magnitude and direction for its complete description are called vectors. जैसे if अगर हमारे पास कोई भी बॉडी है, you have a body and some force is applied on it. Force. Now अब ये force कितना है? say 10 Newton. So आपको you have to tell the magnitude of force. How much force? ठीक है? And you also have to tell the direction of the force. If you do not tell the direction of force, your information is incomplete. So, to describe a vector, we require both magnitude. Magnitude is how much and direction, in which direction. They both are required. So, such quantities are called vector quantities like velocity, acceleration, displacement, force, momentum, torque, etc. So many of them are there. And now we will talk about vector representation. How do we represent vector mathematically? So, since vectors have direction, we use an arrow to represent a vector. And the starting point of vector is called tail or its initial point. It is called tail or initial point, and the final point of arrow is called head or terminal point. And to represent it, we can represent it like starting the first you write the initial point A, then you write the final point B and put an arrow over its head. Right? So in writing, we can write vector like this way, or in place of these two letters, we can use a single letter also. So, या तो आप वेक्टर को स्टार्टिंग और फाइनल पॉइंट से रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे या एक सिंगल लेटर से भी रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. जैसे लाइक आई कैन टू टेक अ स्मॉल लेटर और अ कैपिटल लेटर. बट दिस पुटिंग एरो ऑन द हेड इज़ नेसेसरी. अगर आपने इसके ऊपर ये एरो नहीं लगाया है तो ये वेक्टर नहीं है. अगर आपने केवल ए लिखा है तो मैग्नीट्यूड है, एरो लगाया है तो ये वेक्टर बन जाएगा. सो टू रिप्रेजेंट वेक्टर, putting this arrow over the head is necessary, and this is exactly what I have given in your words. Vector is represented by an arrow. Direction of arrow is given by the direction of, gives the direction of the vector. Direction of arrow gives the direction of vector. And another important thing, the length of arrow gives the magnitude of vector. Length of arrow gives the magnitude of vector. So supposing this vector is representing 2 Newton and I am taking a longer vector, then the longer vector double its size may represent 4 Newton of force. Right? So the length of arrow shows the magnitude of vector, and we can draw any vector by using a suitable scale. So a vector can be represented by using initial tail and final head, for example AB, as I have explained it to you, or by using a single letter as I have already shown. And let us take an example here. See, if a force vector is shown as vector with a scale of 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton. See, I want to draw an arrow, so we require some scale for length, and force is not length. So we use a scale, suitable scale, and let us see. See, I have shown a force vector. So direction of force is this one, and the length of this vector is 3.5 centimeter, and the scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton. So the magnitude of this force is equal to, see, the symbol used for magnitude is put the force vector between two parallel lines, or you simply write F. See, either you write F without vector, then it is a magnitude of force, or you put force vector between two parallel lines. So that's how we represent the magnitude. And now see, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton. So 3.5 centimeter will be equal to 5 into 3.5 Newton. So 17.5 Newton. So the given vector is equal to 17.5 Newton. That means this force is representing 17.5 Newton force along this direction. So that's how vectors are represented. And now types of vectors. So we have many types of vectors, starting with equal vectors. So vectors having equal magnitude and same direction are called equal vectors. So they should have same magnitude and same direction. Like vector A and B, see, they both are along the same direction, they both have same length, right? So they are equal vectors. And I have taken one more vector which is parallel to this vector A, and it is parallel to vector B. So a parallel vector is also equal vector if they have same length. Look at it. So here vector A is equal to vector B is equal to vector C. This is, see, direction and magnitude both are necessary conditions for vectors to be equal. Now let us talk about opposite vectors or negative vectors. So vectors having equal magnitude and opposite direction are called opposite vectors. Like, see, I have shown vector A and another vector B. You can see that the vector A is from bottom to up and vector B is downwards. So they are acting along the same line but directions are opposite. So A is opposite of B, B is opposite of A, or A is negative of B or B is negative of A. And I can take one more vector, say vector C. Now see, vector C is parallel to vector A but in opposite direction. we call them anti-parallel. So A is negative of C or C is negative of A. And one more thing, B and C are parallel and along the same direction. So B is equal to C. B is equal to C and A is equal to minus B and A is equal to minus C. So I can write it as vector A is equal to minus B is equal to vector minus C and vector B is equal to vector C. They are also called, like I can say that vector A and C are anti-parallel. And now zero vector. A vector with zero magnitude is called zero vector and it is represented by 0 with arrow over its head. So just to explain this concept, let me take an example. We have a block placed on a surface and a force F is applied on it in one direction and equal and opposite force is applied on it. You see, on this block, this force is applied along this direction, this force is applied in opposite direction and they both are equal and opposite. So block will not move. You know that this block will not move. It will not have any motion. Or we can say that sum of these two forces is 0. इस ब्लॉक पर हमने इक्वल अपोजिट फोर्सेस लगाए हैं तो ब्लॉक में मोशन नहीं होगा और इन फोर्सेस का सम 0 होना चाहिए. So you can see that force this plus force this is equal to 0 force. अब रिजल्ट आपका फोर्स है. फोर्स एडेड टू फोर्स विल गिव यू फोर्स. फोर्स सब्ट्रैक्टेड फ्रॉम फोर्स विल गिव यू फोर्स. तो रिजल्ट आपका फोर्स ही रहेगा लेकिन इसका मैग्नीट्यूड 0 हो गया. सो द रिजल्ट इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी क्योंकि फोर्स वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है लेकिन इसका मैग्नीट्यूड 0 है. सो इट इज अ 0 वेक्टर. सो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल to explain the concept of or requirement of zero vector. Now let us talk about next type, co-initial vector. Initial means starting point. So vectors having same starting point are called co-initial vectors. Like see, vector B, vector A starting from the same point and vector C also starting from the same point. See, A, B, C are starting from the same starting point, same initial point. So they are called co-initial points, right? And now co-terminus vectors. Terminus means final point or end point. Or vectors terminating at the same point are called co-terminus vectors. Terminating means जहाँ पर वो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, यहाँ पे जहाँ पर उनके arrow head है. So I have this vector A and the vector B and the vector C. They all are ending at this point. ये तीनों वेक्टर इसी पॉइंट पर टर्मिनेट हो रहे हैं. तीनों के हेड एक साथ हैं तो हम कह सकते हैं कि वेक्टर A, B और C को टर्मिनस वेक्टर्स हैं. So A, B, C are co-terminus vectors. Now let us talk about collinear vectors. Linear means the vectors along the same line. So two or more vectors acting along the same line are called collinear vectors. Here, like vector A, vector B, vector C. See, they all are acting along the same line. They have different length, means different magnitude. I can take a vector in opposite direction also. But they all are acting along the same line. Same line means they are collinear vectors. And now, coplanar vectors. Planar means vectors in same plane. So if I have this paper, you can draw any number of vectors in this paper. No? All these vectors lie in the plane of paper. So they all are coplanar vectors. और आप कोई भी दो वेक्टर से पास होने वाला प्लेन बना सकते हैं. सो कोप्लेनर दो वेक्टर्स के लिए डिफाइन नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन अगर आपके पास तीन या तीन से ज़्यादा वेक्टर्स हैं तो आप कोई सिंगल प्लेन डिफाइन कर सकते हो. इसीलिए इस डेफिनेशन में थ्री और मोर वेक्टर्स का नाम आता है. सो वी कैन से दैट कोप्लेनर वेक्टर्स व्हेन थ्री और मोर वेक्टर्स इन अ प्लेन आर कॉल्ड कोप्लेनर. यहाँ पर हम टू वेक्टर्स की बात नहीं कर सकते. वेक्टर्स हैव टू बी थ्री और मोर. So let us take this example. I have this plane, and in this plane you can see vector A, vector B, vector C. They all are lying in this greenish plane. So these three vectors are coplanar vectors. And addition of vectors. So let's see how we work these vectors. Their addition is different. Like for scalar quantities, I can add 3 plus 4 as 7. But addition of vectors is different from it. So if I have vector A and vector B and we want to add them, then what we do is we can shift a vector anywhere in parallel direction. So first I have drawn vector A, and now I will draw vector B starting at the end of vector A. So vector A, tail to head. Vector B, its tail start from the head of A, and this is the head of B. And see, पहले हम वेक्टर A को पैरेलल में कहीं भी शिफ्ट कर सकते हैं, टेल टू हेड. और सेकेंड वेक्टर की टेल को हम पहले के हेड से शुरू करेंगे, टेल टू हेड. और फर्स्ट वेक्टर का टेल लास्ट वेक्टर का हेड गिव्स देयर सम. सी, द वेक्टर फ्रॉम द टेल ऑफ फर्स्ट वेक्टर टू द हेड ऑफ लास्ट वेक्टर गिव्स द sum of the vectors. So here look at it, tail of first vector A, head of second vector B, and this vector is giving the value of or vector A plus B. Okay, see, and I can change the sequence also. So let's see what happens if I start with vector B. See, vector, I have shifted vector B in the parallel direction, same length in the parallel direction, and now I will start the second vector A from the head of B. So second vector A from the head of B. Now first vector tail to head, second vector tail to head. Result will be first tail to last head, first tail to last head. See, look at it. Resultant vector first tail to last head. Look at this. R is equal to vector B plus vector A. And further you can see that this vector and this vector, they are parallel and they have same length. This was vector A plus B and this is vector B plus A. That means these two vectors, the sums are equal. Change of sequence does not make any difference in the sum. So the method same as I have already explained. To add vectors A and vector B, move vector A parallel to itself so as to place the tail of B on the head of A here. Join the tail of vector A to the head of vector B, and this vector gives the resultant or sum of the vectors A and B. So that I have already explained to you. And as I told you, changing sequence does not affect. That means addition of vector follows commutative law. And so here vector R is equal to vector A plus vector B is equal to vector B plus vector A. And now let us talk about the magnitude or size of the sum. And you know the properties of triangle. See, the length represent the magnitude. और ट्राइंगल की प्रॉपर्टी क्या होती है कि कोई भी ट्राइंगल की साइड बाकी दो साइड्स के सम से कम होता है. ठीक है ना. Any side of a triangle is lesser than the sum of remaining two sides. That means this vector r should be less than sum of vector magnitude of vector a and vector b. So see how I write it. The magnitude of r is less than or equal to magnitude of a plus magnitude of b, or r is less than or equal to a plus b. Now I am using this symbol less than or equal to. So equal to वाली situation कब होगी? Supposing I have two vectors, say vector a along this direction and another vector b along this direction. So this is vector a, this is vector b. Now tail to head, and their sum will be first tail to last head. And in this case, this r will be equal to a plus b. So ये limiting case है कि अगर दोनों वेक्टर्स की डायरेक्शन सेम हो तो उनके वेक्टर सम का मैग्नीट्यूड उन दोनों के सम के बराबर होगा. सो दैट मीन्स when vector a and vector b are along the same direction, then r is equal to a plus b, and if they are not along the same direction, then r is less than or equal to a plus b. So that's a very important thing. And now let us talk about polygon method. What if we have more than two vectors to add? So we follow the same method. Let us have two vector a, vector b and vector c. We will follow the same method. Let us draw the first vector a parallel to vector a. See, I have shifted it here. Same length, same direction. Now from head of a, I start vector b. See, parallel to b, same length, same direction. From head of b, draw vector c. From here, I have to draw vector c. Look at it. So I have drawn all the vectors. First vector, second vector, third vector. So sum of all three will be equal to the vector starting from first tail to last head. First tail to last head. So this is going to give you vector r as vector a plus vector b plus vector c. Right? Let's see what happens if I change the sequence. So here I have drawn vector b first, starting from see, parallel, just shifted with the same length, and then I have drawn vector c parallel to it, and now see, tail to head, tail to head. Now the third vector will start from this point. Third vector is vector a. Look at it. So third vector a has been shifted to this place, parallel to it, you see, right? Now you know that the sequence is same, tail to head, tail to head, tail to head. Final result is first tail to last head. Look at it. Now here, first tail to last head. I started with b, so vector b plus vector c plus vector a. And if you compare these two diagrams, you can see that okay. See, this vector r and this vector r, they are parallel and they are of equal length. That means changing the sequence in addition does not change the vector, does not change their sum. हम sequence बदल भी दें तो भी sum में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. It will not affect the sum. So same thing as I have explained to you, and change of sequence does not change anything, and addition of vector also follows associative property. Like this vector r will be equal to a plus sum of vector b plus c. This will be equal to vector b plus sum of vector a plus c. So associative property is also followed. Commutative property as well as associative property. Now let us talk about subtraction of vectors. So here I have vector a and vector b, and we are going to add vectors for subtraction. So how do we do that? Supposing I have to find out vector r is equal to vector a minus vector b. I can write it as vector a plus vector minus b. So basically we are going to add vector a to negative of vector b. So subtraction is basically addition. Subtraction is addition with negative vector. So let's see how we do it. So first vector a is drawn parallel to it, and then negative vector of b is drawn. See, if vector b is along this direction, vector minus b will be opposite to it, and starting tail to head. And for this vector minus b, this is tail, this is head. So tail to head for minus b. So you know that the sum is first tail to last head. That means, see. So this vector first tail to last head represents vector a plus vector minus b, that is vector a minus b. And let's see what happens if we change the places of a and b. So now what I am going to do is b minus a. So first I draw the first vector, which is b. I am going to find out r is equal to vector b plus minus vector a. This is what I am going to do. So b is drawn as it is and a is along this direction. So I will draw minus a, which will be in opposite direction. So see how we do it. So first vector tail to head, second vector tail to head. Second vector is minus a in opposite direction, as you can see. And the sum is what? First tail to last head. So see, first tail to last head, you can see that. And now you can see that here the sum is vector b plus vector minus a. So b minus a. R is equal to b minus a. And one more thing, if you compare these two situations, then look at this vector and this vector. They have equal length but opposite directions. Equal length, parallel, but opposite directions. So they become anti-parallel. That means they are negative vector of each other. So here commutative property is not followed. You can see that a minus b is equal to minus b minus a. Now I can write it like this. That means they are anti-parallel. Or I can say that vector a minus b is not equal to vector b minus a. ये a माइनस बी और b माइनस ए इक्वल नहीं है. लंबाई दोनों की बराबर है, फिर भी वो इक्वल नहीं है. बट व्हाट इज इक्वल? देयर मैग्नीट्यूड्स आर इक्वल. मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ वेक्टर a माइनस b is equal to magnitude of vector b minus vector a. So their magnitudes are equal and directions are opposite, so they are not equal. So commutative property and associative properties are not followed. And now I am going to take a very interesting problem. So let's see. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 12 meter per second and wind starts blowing from south to north at 16 meter per second. With what speed the rain hits a person standing at a place, and also find the direction of the rain. So this is a common day experience. I am showing velocity of rain falling vertically downwards, and now velocity of wind from south to north, velocity of wind, and see, the final velocity of rain will be vector sum of velocity of rain and velocity of wind. So see, as a common person, just think that if rain is falling like this vertically downwards and wind is blowing this way, ऐसे हवा बह रही है, तो रेन अपने आप ही ऐसे आपको टेढ़ी हुई आती हुई लगेगी. ये जो विंड है ये रेन को इधर पुश करेगी, धक्का देके, और रेन को टेढ़ा कर देगी. सो ये हमारा डे टू डे कॉमन एक्सपीरियंस है. लेट अस सी हाउ वेक्टर रिप्रेजेंट्स इट. Our daily life experience is explained by vectors. So here I have to add these two vectors. So first I have drawn vector VR parallel to it vertically downwards, and the second vector starts from the head of the first vector. See, starting here, head to tail. So tail to head, tail to head. Result is first tail to last head. So see, first vector tail to head, second vector tail to head, and their sum is first tail to last head. So see, and now this gives the direction of the final rain. रेन ऐसे नीचे आ रही थी और विंड ने इसको धक्का देके टर्न कर दिया है, राइट. एंड नाउ this wind makes this angle theta with the vertical direction, right? And if you are standing here, supposing you are standing here, you will hold your umbrella like this to save yourself from rain. This way, you will bend your umbrella along this direction, as you can see. Now, I want to find out magnitude of V and this direction theta, two things. Now, since it is a right angle triangle, see, south to north, you have to show the direction. This is the right triangle. So, I can simply use Pythagoras theorem. So, this velocity, hypotenuse is equal to under root square of perpendicular plus square of base. And putting the values, see, velocity of rain is given to be 12 meter per second and velocity of wind is this. And if you look at this one, see, here 4 is common between these two. So 4 square here and 4 square here, I can take them out of under root. 4 square में से under root से बाहर निकालेंगे तो केवल 4 बचेगा, और अंदर यहाँ पे क्या बचेगा in place of this? See, 4 3s are 12. So 3 का square 9, square of 3. And 4 यहाँ से आपने बाहर निकाल लिया 4 square. 4 4 the 16 and 4 का square 16. So only 16 is left here. And now under root के अंदर है आपके पास 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 is 25 and square root of 25 is 5. So you get 4 into 5. 4 into 5, that is 20 meter per second. So the velocity of this final rain is 20 meter per second. इनिशियल इसकी वेलोसिटी थी 12 मीटर पर सेकेंड, लेकिन विंड से मिलके इसकी वेलोसिटी बढ़ के हो गई है 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड. एंड नाउ आई हैव टू टेल यू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ दिस रेन. सो हियर For direction of rain, I can take tan theta, and tan theta is theta के सामने वाला side perpendicular और साथ के वाला side base. So it is perpendicular upon base. Always remember, angle के सामने वाला perpendicular होता है, चाहे वो आपको triangle कैसा भी दिखता हो. So tan theta is equal to VW, velocity of wind, upon VR, velocity of rain, and that is 16 upon 12 और 4 upon 3. So अभी थीटा की वैल्यू कैसे निकालेंगे? This is a new type of representation. Here theta is written as, take this 10 to the right side and it becomes, see, 10 to the power minus 1. We read it as 10 inverse 4 upon 3. So this angle theta is equal to 10 inverse 4 upon 3. And इस रेन की डायरेक्शन कहाँ है? Vertical से towards north. Look at it. This angle theta is from vertical towards north. So how do we read it now? Rain is falling at angle theta is equal to 10 inverse 4 by 3 from vertical towards north, as you can see. So that's how, see, vector addition helps in finding out the velocity and direction of the rain. And this is a very good example of vector addition. So with this, I come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching it.